Welcome to Joe's community on a hot June day, Father's Day, matter of fact. But boy, it's hot. You can see I'm already sweating through my shirt. It's the third video so far today, but I need to get some videos out to you guys. So we're going to talk about what's in my fire kit. I got a little bit bigger fire kit than most people carry, but I just love this tin. I think I bought it at Walmart for like $3, but it's just a Crayola tin. But most people will carry even a little smaller one than when I have my spice kit in, like an Altoids can. All right. To each their own. To each their own. So we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about what's in my fire tin. Now, what should you put in your fire kit? I'm a firm believer in at least 4 ignition sources. That way you're always going to have a way of starting a fire, okay? Ranger bands, nothing more than an inner tube cut up. Could be used as a fire if you shred them. Signaling, throwing on a fire, you get a little bit of black smoke. You're not going to get too much with this, but okay, so you got some Ranger bands. And if you see here, mine tin is packed, okay? So let me get my ignition sources off to the side here. So let's explain today, beautiful sunny day. In my kit here, what is the first thing I'm gonna go grab if I need to start a fire? Well, this is nothing more than an old tent stake bag. Okay, I just repurposed it. But got a magnifying glass. Okay, takes no resources, and it's easy, okay, to get a fire going. See how well this one goes on here? I don't remember the magnification. All right, quite honestly, I don't remember where I got it. I got tons of magnifying glasses because I love starting fires with magnifying glasses. Okay, but it takes nothing. See, I mean that got hot pretty quick. So this is what I would use as my first one on a day like today. If there's some sun, doesn't use up my resource at all. Resources. Okay, so magnifying glass. Then, okay, probably my next one that I like a lot is, here in Kansas we got a lot of Flint, but I took a trip up to South Dakota with some scouts not too long ago, long ago, I think it was about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, but we brought back a bunch of quartz, all right? Flint and steel, I love Flint and steel. When I was a scoutmaster for a scout troop, this was our primary means of starting fires. So them boys all got a lot of experience of doing flint and steel with char cloth, okay? But what we did is, instead of getting you traditional flint and steel, these are just old files that, you know, your grandpa or granddad or your dad had, or even you. And we just cut them down and break them, right? And you ain't gonna see too much here in the daytime, but you can see spark coming off there if you can get a good spark, all right? So flint and steel, okay? Then, got a ferro rod. So I usually carry, I always carry my multi-tool, and I also have a ferro rod on here. But on there, I have my striker, or you can use your back of your knife, you know, if you got a good knife, carbon knife. You just take your thing, and you're just gonna sit there and pull back, but get it on there, okay? But ferro rod, that would be my third choice, because now I'm losing stuff by using it, okay? I'm losing more strikes the more I use this. So that's why I go with my magnifying glass, because I don't lose anything by using it each time. Then flint and steel, I lose a little bit of that steel each time it hits the rock, but not too much. And then a ferro rod. I think this is a 5/16 ferro rod. I don't know, maybe 3 inches long. Get it off Amazon. And the last one is my Bic lighter, all right? Bic lighter. I don't carry matches or nothing. These are the 4 that I use. Because after that, if it comes down to it, then I'll go find me a cottonwood tree or a cedar tree or something and do a bow drill, okay? Now what else is in my tin? Okay, some chapstick. All right, so if I need a little boost, right, and it's pretty, it's hot today. Well, I can't tell you how hot it is. It's probably close to high 90s, maybe 100, but if I need an extra little boost, I'll throw some chapstick on some cotton balls or something, or my lamp wick that I have here. I got a little lamp wick. This is if I need to char it up some more, or char it to get the next fire. But I got lamp wick. My PB&J cotton balls, petroleum-based cotton balls, Vaseline covered cotton balls. Now when it comes to these, well, I'll come back to that. Jute twine, because I'll just sit here and untwine it and get me a good little bird's nest. And then I have a bird's nest that I can get my fire going. A couple sticks of fat wood, okay? I got some cotton here, and then some char cloth inside my cotton. This is my first means right here would be with the flint and steel after the magnifying glass into dry grass or something, okay? So, all right. This is covered in crowns that I melted, and it's a cotton round that was dipped in lamp oil. So I'd break this up if it got wet and still be able to use it. Got some Gorilla tape here inside my tin. And then something I just added to the slow match, they call it, right? This is, I think 3/8 jute twine, but it's just a 308 round that has been shot. I drilled through it, okay? And then I came over here and I charred it. And I'll do a video on this one of these days when it's not so hot, but I charred it, right? So now the theory is I can get my ember on there, my sunglass or magnifying glass or my flint and steel, get a cherry on that and put that into my bird's nest and blow into it. I can get my fire going. And then once you get that fire going, you just pull it back inside itself and it'll extinguish it. You can put it back into your kit. Some people will, this was back in the old days, they'll mix it in with some saltpeter, some nitrate or something like that. So it's a pretty cool little tool. Although this stuff is in my fire kit, I'm only using it as needed, okay? So again, a day like today, you know, I'd go up to a cedar tree and, you know, grab the bark off, get me a nice little ball going here. Get me a nice little ball, or ball of bark. Or I'd get some dry grass, you know, something. I won't use that unless it's absolutely necessary. And then I'm trying to replace it as much as possible. So if I'm out there and I'm in that situation and I'm using that stuff, when if I got an empty spot in my tin, I'm going to replenish it as soon as I can come across something in nature. And as soon as I can come across nature and get it. So look, just that quick, all right? Just that quick off a cedar tree, I got me some tinder, okay? Now let's talk about, let me pack this up real quick, because there's a method to it. So I won't break my sunglass or so I get all my stuff in there. Some people say it's a little too much, but again, when you're building your fire kit, to each their own is what I'm always going to say. Everybody has their opinions. Everybody has what they want to do, okay? The more comfortable you get with your kit, the less items you would have to bring. You can make it even smaller, but I'm under the belief that although water is the most important thing out there, I argue that fire is the most important. Because with fire, you disinfect that water. With fire, you cook your food. With fire, you stay warm. Psychological. Gives you an advantage mentally. Scares off the critters at night. Gives you a sense of warmth. I mean, there's just so many things about fire. That's why I think it's most important. Let's see, I didn't even pack it right. You gotta make sure you have all your stuff. Anyway, now that I packed it up, I actually want to do a demonstration. So while we're doing that, so let's talk Tinder Bundle, okay? So our Tinder Bundle, there should be at least four layers. My favorite is always going to go find some hay or dry grass, whatever you want to call this, okay? And I just bend it over some, okay? Then I start making a pocket. So that cedar bark that I just took, okay, that's 2 layers, or you can use, you know, whatever, dry grass, something different, but the more layers you can get on there, the better. Then I'll go find some dead flowers, okay, you can see the little fluffy stuff, a little thicker in the back here. So that's 3 layers. Now really, I can, on a good day today, I can start this fire with just these 3 layers. If I need another layer, it's where I come in here and add my man-made tinder. I can add a layer that way, okay? But I'm pretty confident I can get a fire with just this. Now, if you have your TP, whatever fire layer you want to use, or, yeah, fire layer, whatever you want to use, TP, lean-to, crossover, stick bundle, whatever. The key is just taking the time to get that much that you're going to need, okay? So with tinder, you want to have, you know, this much tinder, pencil lead size or width, and you know, pretty long. Then you want your kindling. Kindling, you want a big arm full kindling from here to about here. You know, pinky size or whatever, a little bit smaller. No bigger than a thumb for your kindling. And then fuel, that's where you want to start getting your wrist size, but stacked up to your knee, okay? So you take all the time to prep that and then prep your fire, try whatever you want to use. A lot of times I just do a basic TP, put my Tinder Bundle over. As I'm putting my Tinder Bundle over, I turn it over so it catches more in flame, and I just pull my TP over it, right? And then I'll just add more small twigs on there and let it build. But Flint, okay? So we're gonna try some of this charcoal. Turn it over, put it in your fire. So you see, you get pretty decent with a flint and steel and char cloth. How many strikes was that? It wasn't too many, maybe 6, 7 strikes, so below 10 strikes maybe? I don't know. Somebody's gonna go back and watch it, and it was 13 strikes. Either way, I replaced the quartz in my flint and steel because I actually broke the quartz. But flint is the king, all right? Flint is the one to have in here. And I'm in Kansas, so flint's always king. So now with that video there, you saw what's in my fire kit, why I choose and do what I do, natural materials before anything in my fire kit, and which ignition source I use first, and how to build a proper tinder bundle, okay? So with all that, get out and build some fires. Thanks for joining Joe's community. grab your gear, and let's go.